Welcome to 15 Minutes with Dad, the podcast that gives you 15 minutes of inspiration, practical advice, and heartfelt conversations to empower your journey in fatherhood. I'm your host, Lirec Williams, a dynamic career visual and performing artist, professional data system director, and an author who's been a dad longer than any of those titles, proudly guiding a blended family of 4. And here we dive into transformational strategies, real life stories, and actionable tips that helps you navigate the challenges of family life and divorce, all while growing into the best version of yourself. Whether you're looking to boost your emotional resilience, redefine your role as a father, or simply find balance in your everyday life, you're in the right place. So get ready to transform your fatherhood journey 1 minute at a time. Now let's get started. Welcome back to another episode of 15 Minutes with Dad. I'm your host, Lirec Williams, and today's episode is one that I've wrestled with deeply. This one's called Sacrifice, Alignment, and Hard Choices. Healing when kids are involved. This isn't an easy conversation because healing doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in the middle of life and in the middle of work, love, parenting, and sometimes pain. And when you start to grow, it changes things. It changes how you think, how you communicate, how you set boundaries, and how you love. And sometimes those changes come with loss. Today, we're going to talk about what alignment really means when you're healing as a father, why growth often costs comfort and sometimes relationships, how to make hard choices when kids are involved, and how to honor both your peace and your responsibilities. This episode is personal, it's real, and it's the truth I think every father who's choosing healing eventually has to face. And when you start healing, you begin to realize something painful. That not everyone grows with you. You might have family who still wants to hold the old version of you, a partner who's uncomfortable with your new boundaries, friends who only knew you in dysfunction. Healing forces you to confront the difference between what's familiar and what's healthy. And for fathers, that tension hits even harder. Because every decision you make doesn't just affect you, it affects your kids. So do I stay in an environment that feels misaligned just to keep the family under one roof? Do I model peace even if it means stepping away from what's familiar? Or do I shrink to keep everyone comfortable? Or stand tall and show my kids what wholeness looks like? These are not easy questions, but they're the questions that separate men who survive from men who lead. Now let's go into understanding alignment. Alignment doesn't mean perfection, it means congruence. It means when your values, your choices, and your actions are walking in the same direction. And when you stop pretending to be who you used to be and start living who you really are. Here's what alignment looks like. Saying no to chaos, even if it costs you approval. Speaking the truth with grace, even when your voice shakes. Or choosing peace over performance, parenting from intention and not fear. But alignment is painful at first because a version of you that's healing will disrupt every relationship built on brokenness. I'll say it again. Alignment is painful at first because the version of you that's healing will disrupt every relationship built on your brokenness. And sometimes that includes your romantic partner. Sometimes that includes your parents. Sometimes it even includes your kids because your healing will change how you parent them. But alignment isn't abandonment. It's choosing to lead with integrity, even when it means walking a lonely road. Now, as fathers, this is where it gets complicated. Because the healing journey doesn't pause for parenting. You still have to wake up, you have to go to work, feed your kids, co-parent, and manage your emotions, all while trying to grow into a better man. Sometimes you feel torn between two truths, like I am. I want to protect my children's stability, and I need to protect my own sanity. You'll ask yourself, how do I make hard changes without hurting them? And here's what I've learned. You can make changes with love. You can set boundaries without blame. You can create distance without disappearing. And you can model honesty without chaos. Your kids don't need perfection, and I say this every episode. They need truth. They need to see a father who lives in integrity, who can say, I'm growing and it's hard, but I'm doing it all for us. Sometimes healing means leaving toxic dynamics behind. Sometimes it means staying, but showing up differently. Either way, your peace becomes their protection because your healing teaches them what safety looks like. Now, it's not always cut and dry because when you do decide to leave, there is a ripple effect of that sacrifice. Every decision has a ripple. When you heal, you might lose people, but you'll gain self-respect. You might break patterns, but you'll build legacy. You might disrupt the present, but you'll save the future. Your kids are watching more than they're listening. They're studying how to handle pressure, loss, and conflict. And every time you choose authenticity over avoidance, peace over pretense, you're showing them how to live in alignment with truth. That's fatherhood. It's not always pretty, but it is always sacred. I want to give you a framework that helps when life feels divided between your peace and your responsibility. Let's call it the alignment check-in. So number one, let's identify your core values. Ask yourself, what do I stand for as a man and as a father? Is it peace? Is it respect? Is it growth? Is it safety? Is it integrity? Now examine the patterns in your life. Where in your life are you consistently losing energy, clarity, peace? What relationships or habits feel misaligned in your life? The next step, let's measure that impact. How is this misalignment affecting your kids? Are they seeing stress, distance, anger, resentment? Number 4, make one change. Doesn't have to be a big change, it just has to be one. You don't have to blow everything up overnight. Take one small step towards that alignment. Set a new boundary, have a new conversation, or try to change your mindset, a new mindset. And lastly, let's try and communicate with grace. If change impacts others, speak truth with empathy, especially when kids are involved. Like, explain your choices with honesty and love. Now, this framework isn't about breaking families apart. It's about helping bring families back into truth. And in my life, I've recently had to make a very difficult decision. And it's been a very interesting navigation of it. I've been working on healing for over a year and a half, and I felt like I've tried things inside the relationship to make it work. I've tried things that my therapist, suggested to navigate the different things, and the results were not there. And there were things that showed me that there was not alignment. We didn't have alignment in our relationship. And I think that most of the chaos that's happened in our relationship is because we never did. I think we tried. There was some alignment in some places, but in the grand scheme of things, there was this misalignment from the beginning. And I never wanted to make that type of decision. I have a son. I had my plus sons. I had my family. And I think I stayed in a situation too long out of fear of abandonment. And I think I've learned that there is no version of healing that doesn't cost something. But I've also seen what happens when I align with truth. My kids trust me more. They see calm instead of chaos. They see me choosing peace even when it's hard. And they're learning that love doesn't mean losing yourself. It means showing up whole. And that's what I want for them. That's what I want for every father listening to this series. So here's what I want to leave you with today. Healing is not convenient. Alignment is not comfortable, but both are necessary. And if you're standing at a crossroad between peace and familiarity, between growth and guilt, choose peace, choose alignment, choose truth. Because one day your kids will ask you how you did it. And you'll be able to say, I didn't have all the answers, but I had the courage to grow. So here's your challenge this week. Just take 30 minutes alone. Write down one part of your life that feels misaligned. Be honest, and then write down one step or two you can take towards peace, even if it's uncomfortable. Next week, we'll wrap up this special series with a powerful conversation about legacy. Talking about the legacy of healing, rewriting the script for your children. Make sure you subscribe to 15 Minutes with Dad and follow us at 15 Minutes with Dad on all social media platforms. Keep walking this journey of becoming, because healing is the hardest thing you'll ever do, but it's also the most loving thing you'll ever give. And just like that, we've hit an end of another epic journey here at 15 Minutes with Dad. I'm your host, Lirec, and I am thrilled to have shared this time with you. But guess what? The conversation is far from over. Want to dive deeper into the Dadverse? Check out our website at 15minuteswithdad.com and join our vibrant community on Instagram, Discord, and TikTok for your daily dose of dad inspiration, camaraderie. And here's something special. Subscribe to our newsletter at 15minuteswithdad.com for exclusive goodies and behind-the-scene peeks you won't find anywhere else. Got a burning question or a dad moment that made you proud? We're all ears. Submit your questions and share those special moments with us for a chance to be featured and shout out on our show. It's your time to shine in our dad community, so tap in with our Discord, and our server is at 15 Minutes with Dad. So tap in for that, engage with the community, and you will be featured on our show. Each week we will do another feature, so join in. Love today's episode. Spread the love by sharing it with a friend and leaving us a review. Let's get the word out and grow our awesome dad family, because guess what? When you give us a review and you rate our podcast, you give everybody the chance to enjoy what you've enjoyed about this podcast as well. So mark your calendars, because new episodes drop every Thursday of the week. Ready for more heartwarming stories, laughs, and dad wisdom? We can't wait to have you back. But until next time, keep being the amazing dad you are. Every day is a new adventure and every moment is special. Catch you on the next episode. Love, peace, and chicken grease.